Hi. Can you hear that? That's the sound of a clear voice. I bought a microphone. Something's different about my setup. I'm in my room now, apparently. Room, viewers. Viewers, room. I also have a great big window in my room, so the light can shine on my face. You get double the beautifulness. It's probably not wise, seeing what British weather's like, but I decided to push the boat out anyway, because why not? To celebrate this momentous change in scenery, I have decided to tell you guys a story, and it happened the other day. It was quite scary. So let's begin! You know when you have that typically long day at work where it's just like the time wizard decided to ruin your day and make it go so slow? Yeah, it was one of those days. But finally, when 7 o'clock rolled around, I was able to go home and do that thing where you put food in your mouth. Eating. It's called eating. Now, something I should mention about this, it takes me half an hour to get home. And after that long day at work, I just didn't want to do it. I was exhausted at that point. I am also not exactly in shape. That's irrelevant. So when I finally turned the corner into my house's pathway, guess what I see? 2 cats. One grey, one brown. Both fighting it out. It was like a furry World War III. It looked like something out of a cartoon. As though the Tasmanian Devil and Bugs Bunny finally had enough of each other and were just... It was as though Tumbleweed had run into a fur storm and had had enough of the wind. Seeing as how these 2 cats seemed pretty preoccupied, I thought it was safe to pass. I thought wrong. The moment I step onto the pathway, they both look at me. It was like at the same time. It was scary. It was like... And the brown one had this like tuft of grey fur around its mouth. It was just like, it had ripped apart this other cat, and I was like, it was scary. He had this wild look in his eyes. It was just like... Not a second later than I saw this, they were both just attacking my feet. Now I should probably mention that I'm not exactly the bravest man on earth. This day proved that, apparently. Once I realised what was happening to me, that I was just getting assaulted by these kittens, I turned, I legged it out of there. I was gone. You could see the smoke trail of where I was. How the cats didn't catch me, I don't know. I must have hit like flash-like speeds, like pretty sure the lightning was coming out of my back. I might have time travelled. Not entirely sure about that yet. They were chasing me down that way and I was passing people and they just didn't do anything. They were just stood there, like looking on this guy being chased by 2 angry cats for no reason. They were just looking on like, what? It was at this moment that I decided enough! I'm done! And I stopped running. I kicked one away and the other one jumped from behind and I grabbed its paws and slammed it to the ground. In their state of confusion that this human had decided to take a stand, I grabbed a cart and slammed it down onto the cat, sending it into a higher plane of oblivion. That didn't happen. Would have been much cooler, but I don't exactly condone animal violence. I also can't lift a car. That's irrelevant. I'm not entirely sure when they stopped chasing me, but once I'd managed to do an entire run of the area, I just stopped. As I've said, I'm not exactly in shape. I just turned, and there was nothing behind me. There was an empty street of nothing. I was free from the furry assault. So that was a fun story. I really enjoyed telling that. I have a few more ideas which I noted down in my Heisen journal. This is my Heisen journal because Heisenberg and it's a journal. If you have a problem with that, then shush you. I'll talk about those stories in the future. So do you have any stories of an animal that wronged you in any way? If you do, let me know down in the comments there. I'd really like to hear it. I'm Buttertoss, and this was a toasty vlog. I'm working on that. Bear with me.